Oh. Hi, Mr. Driscoll here at New Brighton Park, and today on City Creatures we're going to check out the Shoreline. So we're underneath the pilings down by the shore. The interesting part about being down here is you can really tell that we're at low tide. What you're seeing here on the pilings is a mixture of barnacles as well as some mussels, blue mussels. And you can tell that they're often submerged in water because you can actually see up against the rocks, hopefully you can tell where kind of like the water line stops. You can see where a certain kind of growth, it looks darker up to a certain point, and it's almost like a solid line all the way across. Have a look here at some of these mussels. And believe it or not, when mussels are cultivated, this is how they're grown. There's usually a rope hanging down into the water, and basically they're all stuck to that rope and they sit there filter feeding, and that's how we farm mussels. One more thing I'd like to point out is if we have a look over here, you can see some fine example of bull kelp, which has been caught up on some of the pilings. Have a closer look here. This is the float area. This is filled up with gas, and it helps the plant to float, and it attaches to the bottom, and it has a long, like a leaf, although not exactly called a leaf, and this is what floats up near the surface. Very similar sorts of things are making the giant kelp forests all along this coast. Here we have three main types of algae: red algae, brown algae, and green algae. Of course, these three main categories have many different species in them. Now, right over here is something called a chitin. It's a rather primitive example of an animal. Look at them on the underside of the rock there. They fit in very, very well. And of course, these are barnacles. All these creatures are designed to live in a place where the seawater comes in and then leaves again. So sometimes they're covered, sometimes they're not. As a result, you can see all sorts of algae on these rocks. Green algae, brown algae, we got some fucus. Good stuff. And as you can see, we're not far from the city whatsoever. So here we have a sunflower star.
That was a video camera.
Yep.
Sweet.
Can you see the madreporite? Is that it right there? Yeah, that is it. So that is where the water for the water vascular system enters. Can you flip them around?
These guys are also super fast. Fastest.
And there we go. Look at those tube feet. That's actually really awesome. They're still moving around and stuff.
I wonder how long it would take himself to flip them over. Alright.
There we go. So here's chitin number 1, quite a large one, and chitin number 2, and then here's a different type of sea star. This is a leather star. Again, you can see the madreporite on top. If you had smell-o-vision at home, you could smell that this star actually smells a bit like garlic. So that's one of the ways you can use to identify it. And check out this group of purple ochre stars. Look at them clinging all together to that piling. So again, purple ochre and orange ochre sea star together. They hang out under the rocks during low tide, and then when the high tide comes back in, they're once again submerged. Common problem faced by all the creatures who live in this area. Here we have a brittle star, as you can tell, different than a sea star because it has thinner, more flexible limbs. It can also go a lot faster than a sea star can. Alright. Alright, so here we have an example of the green urchin. Another fine example of an echinoderm. Also has the water vascular system. They have an oral and an aboral side. Oral is the mouth side, and that's what we're looking at right now. It's called Aristotle's lantern. And that's that middle piece right there.
We got some fish.
We got some fish over there.
Fish here.
Oh, look at that. Oh, is it a blenny?
Type of blenny, yeah. A high coxcomb. Anoplarchus purpurescens.
Hold on, I'm missing them.
And there's two more.
There's
one
another
there, and there's one there.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
So it's not an eel, because you can see it actually has
The front
Dorsal.
pectoral fins.
and dorsal fins.
Yeah. Awesome. Look at how well he blends in.
Yeah, I'm going to put him in the water.
Oh, here's the crab.
Red rock crab.
Yeah, and there's this guy right down here.
Another fish there.
Oh, he
Another
just went
crab
away.
Small.
There
red
he
rock.
is. Small red rock crab. He's a crustacean. Oh, the blenny's right next to him. Awesome.
Another big one over here in the water. If you look at the face, apparently the facial pattern is distinctive. So if you could see the stripes on the face.
There we go. Jeez, he's an active guy, eh? Another fish.
Another member of the blenny family.
Probably a different type of blenny than the earlier one we found. A little bigger, this guy, too.
Maybe a crescent blenny due to the markings on the dorsal side.
There you go.
Could be. Look it up. Put him back.
Catch and release. Check it out. Nicely done. Here we have an example of a kelp crab. Look at how well it blends into the rock and the barnacles around it. Compare that over here to a red crab.
Red rock crab. Yeah.
Red rock crab. You can really see the difference in their carapace. Right? The red rock crab is really thick and big, whereas it's a little more spidery looking here for our kelp crab. As well, what we have up here on the platform is a great blue heron. So of course it's great pickings for them coming to a place like this. All sorts of squishy and yummy things to eat under every rock. Oh, what you just saw dive under was a
Cormorant.
a cormorant. A double-crested cormorant. Let's see if we can find him coming back up from his fishing expedition.
There he is. That's another one.
Wow, way over here. And again, they float there, dive down looking for fish. Did he get one? As you can see, they're down for a long time.